Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. This is cause number 23 CCCR 2470. Case is styled in the state of Texas versus Debbie Vout. Ms. Vout, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Ms. Vout?
I'm doing very good.
That's
And
good.
you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Vout. You're representing your case by your attorney, Reagan Minaldi. Ms. Minaldi, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Judge. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge, thank you.
Okay. Now, Ms. Bout's case is on the court's announcement docket. Ms. Minaldi, what is your announcement?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a 30-day reset, but the prosecutor and I have come to an agreement where Ms. Dow has to take a class before they're able to dismiss the case. So we're working on disposing of that. She just needs to schedule and take the class.
Okay, now, is it the BIP class? Or what kind of class is
It's
it?
not, it's actually gonna be an informal anger management. We already have the class aligned online.
Oh, it
As
is?
soon as she gets us the completion, we'll be able to dismiss. It'll likely be before the 30-day reset. We're just.
Okay. Okay. Give us a reset for 30 days.
That'll be June. That'll be July 5th.
Okay, this case will be reset for July 5th, 2024. Ms. Vought, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get the reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Ms. Minaldi, I think this is your only case, so you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Same to you. You're welcome. He's working on his. Okay. And where's Mr. Vasquez? He's still outside. Okay, we'll wait for him to come back in. Next case is cause number 23 CCCR 2461. Case is styled in the state of Texas versus Jashaniel Ray Berry. Mr. Berry. Mr. Berry, your full name is Jashaniel Ray Berry.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Berry?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Berry, I see that your case was reset on March 12th, 2024
Mhm.
to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
No, sir.
That's what it says here, March 12th,
No, I
2024.
Right, Kim lives not too.
Oh, you've already hired Rife?
Yes.
Did Rife send a letter of representation? Because it doesn't show here on the, that he sent anything. Whose phone is that? Make sure your phone is off. Rife hadn't sent your attorney has to send a letter of representation. What that means is the letter of representation that is sent from your attorney informs us that he has been hired to represent you. Mr. Berry.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to go to his message right now because he said something else.
Okay. Oh, he sent it, is this your only case?
Yes.
Okay, well, unless he sent it in the wrong case. We're gonna call his office.
It's checking it for 31. Because I've been paid.
He's not scheduled to be here today.
He gonna, say, hey, wife, this was the March before, I say, hey, wife, I'm in court, they saying you need to submit your paperwork showing I hired you, thank you. It's been e-filed, I text the coordinator.
That's right. When did he do that?
What day was that?
That was March the 12th.
Wow.
Let me, hold on, hold on.
You said that was March 12th. Unless they rejected it.
Cause I was in court, March the 12th, I was in.
Right. Yep, March the 12th. Hmm. Yeah. I'm looking at the phone. Information complaint, probable cause, next reset behind. Yeah, I can see a letter from it. Let me see a document. Let me see if there's something else. Give him his name. Joshaniel Berry.
Okay, she said she's gonna, call her wife and they're gonna, let's refile. Then do it again. You're probably gonna return and.
It might have been rejected. Sometimes if it's not filed right, it just rejects it. And so she said she's gonna file it again. So what we'll do, we'll reset you. Let's reset him 30 days now. When Rife's letter of representation comes in, Rife is probably gonna have it reset again.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody else is his phone, that's great.
Yeah, I think, yeah, well, just stay in contact with him. Once the court coordinator gives you a reset, you're free to go in your best day.
All right, then.
Solomon Johnson. This is cause number 2366 Sierra 2146, case of South State of Texas versus Solomon Johnson. Mrs. Johnson, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Johnson, your case was reset on March 12, 2024 for you to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney? Why haven't you hired your attorney?
I didn't have no minutes.
You say you didn't have enough money to. Did you talk to an attorney? Okay, now, when are you going, okay, we're gonna give, well, how much time do you need to hire your attorney? You said you didn't have enough money to. Okay, so this is gonna be your last reset to hire, okay? We're gonna put him on the, announcement docket and note that it'd be his last reset to hire,
How long, Judge?
30 days. 30 days. What's that? What's that date? Okay, this case will be reset to July 5th, 2024. You get your opportunity to hire your attorney. The court coordinator is going to give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Next case is cause number 23CCCR 2496. Case is style of the state of Texas versus Asa Jones. Mr. Jones, your full name is Asa Jones? Mr. Jones, this is cause number 23CCCR 2496. Case is style of the state of Texas versus Asa Jones. Mr. Jones, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. Jones, your case was reset on March 12th. Give you an opportunity to hire your attorney. Have you hired your attorney? Why haven't you hired your attorney? You got laid off your job? Okay, so now, Mr. Jones, you understand that you have three options regarding your right to hire an attorney. I mean, three options regarding your right to have an attorney. One is you can hire an attorney. Two, if you cannot afford to, or if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you can request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Or three, you can waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. You understand that? Okay, so what do you want to do? Okay, just have a seat. The court bailiff is going to bring you two forms. One is judge's explanation of rights to defense without an attorney, and the other form is Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. All right, just have a seat. Otis Poulard, cause number 24CCCR 0108. Mr. Poulard, your full name is Otis D. Poulard. Mr. Poulard, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. Poulard, let's see here. There's a note that says that there's a waiver of counsel in the file that was filed on March 13, 2024. With that waiver of counsel, basically, you are representing yourself. Is that correct? No. You want to go what? Okay, you want to.
Your Honor, he's wanting to go against his waiver. He wants to go himself.
So you want to withdraw it. Okay, you want to withdraw your waiver, and then you want to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. That's what you're saying? Okay, just have a seat, and the bailiff is going to bring you a clipboard that has the judge's explanation of rights of defendants without an attorney. You need to read that. And she's going to have an affidavit of indigence as well. And you need to fill out the first page of that and half the second page. Just have a seat. That's on both his cases. It's two cases. Cause number 24CCCR 0719. Okay, Mr. Vasquez. Now, Mr. Vasquez, there's a case cause number M329124, case of style of the state of Texas versus Termaine Lamarcus Kennedy.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Kennedy is on Zoom, I believe.
And they have, he has his father here as well. That has the same name, Termaine Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, take your mic off of, put your video on.
I believe senior is here on
You need to take your hat off and show your face. I see you got half of your face on it. Put your full.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
So-
219, show the gentleman what you're talking about.
Is that something in the background?
I'm sorry. This is my microphone. Let me turn that off. Okay, we good to go.
Okay. Now, is this the gentleman that you represent, Mr.?
Yes, Sean.
Okay,
Tremaine Junior.
okay, so it's this Termaine LaMarcus Kennedy Jr.?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your father's senior, okay. Okay, now, this case is on our announcement docket? So what's your announcement?
There's just a case, restitution is to be paid, and the case will be dismissed with the office.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I was about to say I can pay the restitution today.
Okay,
All right.
Well,
we need to get him okay, well, is it a money order that needs to be paid? And then, okay, Mr. Kennedy, you need to get a money order, bring this to the court room.
Okay.
So that the prosecutor can help you to fill it out and the attorney can fill it out properly. Make sure it's blank. And you have the amount?
Yes, sir. It's 254 and some change. So I will get the money order for 255.
Well, and it has to be exact. You
Okay,
can't
well,
no
well,
over.
I'll get the amount. Yeah, I just need the change amount.
Yes.
The restitution is actually in the amount of $253.63.
You heard that?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
$253.63.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you need to bring that to the courtroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Are you,
Yes.
are you wanting him to do this today? Because
Yes.
the DA's office is closing
Yes.
it.
He's in Beaumont. This 2 hours, this 2 hours and 50 minutes away.
Well,
Okay, you need to be here before 12.
okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right.
He doesn't need the name of the page.
So that's gonna be, all he's gonna have, it's gonna be blank and he'll fill it out when they get here. All right. Okay, you need to go do that and try to get here as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.
Well, all right. All right.
Free to go.
Yes, you're free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Jefferson County Code Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 236 CCR 2280. Case is styled of State of Texas versus Eric Valdez. Mr. Valdez, is that your full name?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Valdez?
How about you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Valdez. You're represented in your case by your attorney Mel Shalander. Attorney Shalander, how are you doing?
Friday before a holiday, I'm doing a lot better than I was earlier in the week.
All right. And state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Ms. Simmons, how are you doing again?
Doing great, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Shalander, what is your announcement in Mr. Valdez's case?
This is our first appearance, so
Yes,
I'm just asking for more time with,
get your discovery
yes, sir.
investigation. Okay, give us a reset date.
July 19th.
Okay, this case will be reset to July 19th, 2024. It will be placed on the announcement docket. Mr. Valdez, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset from the attorney, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day. And you have a blessed day as well, Mr. Shalander.
I thought.
Your full name is Shay Monique Arsenault.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Arsenault, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Arsenault, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Arsenault, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Arsenault?
How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Arsenault, you represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Don Boudreaux. Mr. Boudreaux, how are you doing?
Just fine, sir.
Mr. Boudreaux, do you waive a record in Ms. Arsenault's case?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Arsenault, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Shay Monique Arsenault, on or about October 21st of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of interference with public duties. Mr. Arsenault, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Ms. Arsenault, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest? How do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No comment.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? Is
Yes.
somebody forcing you to plead?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. And Ms. Arsenault, are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Arsenault, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contest, well, it's checked not no contingent, but it means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled
Yes,
defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that case?
Yes, sir.
Or do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The next box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document. Where's the discovery certification? I also have a document that on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Arsenault, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Boudreaux went over?
Yes, sir, I did.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to
Yes,
the best of your knowledge?
yes, sir, it is.
Ms. Arsenault, are you a citizen of the United States?
State officer, state one.
Mr. Boudreaux, you have any objections to State's Exhibit number 1?
No, sir.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Boudreaux, you have advised and counseled Ms. Arsenault. Is there any evidence that she is mentally incompetent to stand trial?
She's perfectly competent, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Boudreaux, Ms. Arsenault, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ms. Arsenault, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of no contest, the state's offering 1 year deferred, $300 fine, 40 hours community service plus court costs.
What is the courthouse in this case?
277.
Okay, Ms. Arsenal, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Hold on a minute. Mr. Boudreaux, were you appointed in this case? Were you appointed in this case? You weren't?
No objection.
Were you appointed in this case?
No?
Were you court appointed?
Yes.
Okay. Let me do this here. Let's do 50. Two. Plus 17. That's what I just said. Yeah. Divided. That can't be right. There we go. Okay. Miss Arsenal, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, or your analysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay or reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $158 a month. Will you be able to pay the $158 each month?
Yes.
Okay. You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Arsenal, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
Do you accept the state's offer? Ms. Arsenal, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. And now, Ms. Arsenal, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Ms. Arsenal, you're gonna stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you will be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand next to the bailiff. Thank you.
It's posted probational, it's at 12 o'clock, so if you don't get over there in time, you'll have to come back about 1:30 today to the interview. Write down the strict.
Yeah, you'll have a map. They'll give you a map. It's in your paperwork.
I think I can make it today.
You need to make it today because it's gonna be short. They just need to check you in.
How long will it take?
It shouldn't take you that long. I can't give you the time, but
It's like, no, when you get there, you gotta go. You're, I say, when you get there, just let them know you gotta go to work.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to think so, but I didn't.
why? Oh, he did a waiver?
Yes.
I'll need to speak with him. You can speak with them.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. We're back is on Zoom.
Please don't get me more.
Okay, does she have an affidavit?
It's right. No.
Okay, okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, court is back on the record in cause number 23 CCCR 2500, case is style the state of Texas versus Shay Monique Arsenault. Ms. Arsenault was previously sworn in. Ms. Arsenault acknowledged, well, Ms. Arsenault attorney, Mr. Don Boudreaux waived the record in this case. Ms. Arsenault pled true, well, Ms. Arsenault pled no contest to the information charging her with interference with public duties, which is a Class B misdemeanor. She acknowledged that that her signature and initials was on State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. She also acknowledged that her signature was on the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal and the discovery certification. She also acknowledged that her attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, went over all of the paperwork and she understood everything that Mr. Boudreaux went over. She also acknowledged that Mr. Boudreaux advised and counseled her and she was satisfied with his services. Mr. Boudreaux stated that there was no evidence to suggest that Ms. Arsenault was mentally incompetent to stand trial. Now, the court accepted Ms. Arsenault's plea of no contest. The court found that she was mentally competent to stand trial, that her plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given, and that there was sufficient evidence to find her guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. The state offered Ms. Arsenault 1 year deferred adjudicated probation with a $300 fine, plus court costs and 40 hours of community service. Now, Ms. Arsenault, the court is going to read to you the state's offer again. The state is offering 1 year deferred adjudicated probation, a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. Court costs, a probation fee of $6 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. And there's $250 that will be reimbursed to the state for the court-appointed attorney's fees. This comes to a total of monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month in the amount of $158 a month. Now, Ms. Arsenault, will you be able to pay the $158 each month? Okay, now, let's see, it's 26.45. Okay. Okay, now, this Arsenal, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Boudreaux, could you show this document to your client? Mr. Arsenal, do you recognize that document?
Yes.
Okay, on page 2 of that document, at the top left-hand corner, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature?
Somewhere right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Arsenault, is everything in that document still true and correct today? Look on the page 1, your financial information, all of that's still true and correct? Yes,
Yes, sir.
okay. So, Ms. Arsenault, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. And based on the finding of indigency, hold on a minute. That's 950. Okay. Okay. Now, Ms. Arsenault, I'll repeat the state's offer. The state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. As a fine, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs in the amount of $277. The fine and court costs, which is a total of $577, is converted to community service. It's converted to 46 hours of community service. The attorney's fees of $250 will be waived pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. That simply means you will not have to pay that. And you'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, or your analysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments will be $83 a month. Will you be able to pay the $83 a month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service. This 40 hours of community service will be in addition to the 46 hours of community service that was converted from fine and court costs. So you will be required to perform a total of 86 hours of community service. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of probation. Now, Ms. Arsenault, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Ms. Arsenault, I'll follow. People are in agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Arsenault, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. And Ms. Arsenault, just have a seat. The court coordinator needs to redo the paperwork. Once you finish up the paperwork, she'll ask you to come back up to the window and you'll follow the directions of the bailiff. And once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Just have a seat.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Let's see.
We have that waiver.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Mr. Solomon. Your full name is it Solomon Johnson? Mrs. Johnson, would you please raise your right hand? Mrs. Johnson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Johnson, you may put your hand down. Ms. Hillis,
Yes,
your
ma'am.
hand that he has the, give him that pen again. He has his signature,
No, he doesn't.
Solomon J. You're supposed to on that document. Your full name. Now, Mr. Johnson, you have two documents before you. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize that document? And is that your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes.
Are those your initials on the line that state you would like to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
On the next document is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Enter Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Johnson, before you sign and initial those documents, did you read those documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes.
Is everything in those documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Johnson, have a seat, and one of the prosecutors will come out and talk to you about your case. Thank you. Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Come forward.
She just walked out.
1 year.
Richard Anthony
750.
Ebert or Hebert? Hebert, would you come forward? Mr. Hebert. Wait. Your full name is Richard Anthony Hebert? Mr. Hebert, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Hebert, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hebert, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Hebert?
I'm doing fine.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for the accent. Mr. Hebert, you're represented in your case by your attorney Joel Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, do you waive a record in Mr. Hebert's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hebert, well, the state is also representing. We got this. Oh, a minute. This video, Okay. State is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking.
Mr. Vasquez, do you waive a record in Mr. Hebert's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hebert, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Richard Anthony Hebert, on or about May 29th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more. Now, the state stated you abandoning enhancement paragraph?
We are, Judge.
Okay. Now, Mr. Aber, what that means is the state is abandoning enhancement paragraph. That means that instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor offense, you'll be charged with a Class B misdemeanor DWI, which is a lesser included offense. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the charge, to the Class B misdemeanor charge of driving while intoxicated that allegedly occurred on or about May 29 of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
Or you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Aber, I also have a document before me on this tablet that is titled, hold on a minute, I need to write that on here, state abandons. Okay, now, Mr. Aber, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Now, I wrote in here that the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to boxes checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials RH on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials at the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Aber, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge? Hey, Mr. Vest, okay. State, do we have like the offer states exhibit number 1?
Yes, Judge.
No objection.
No objection, states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Vasquez, you advise and counsel Mr. Aber, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Aber, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his recommendation? Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hebert, Mr. Aber, not Hebert, Mr. Aber, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Judge.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offering 1 year deferred, $750 fine, 60 hours community service, court costs, DWI education, and inter costs.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. What's the court cost?
It's 392.
392. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Abear, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750. You'll also be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay court costs of $392, a probation fee of $60 a month, your announcement fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15 a month. You will be required to pay or reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll also be required to attend and complete the DWI education and initial evaluation class, and you will be required to pay an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the police. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $219 a month. Will you be able to pay the $219 a month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DWI intervention class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. Now, Mr. Abear, do you have a commercial driver's license?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Abear, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Abear, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Abear, if you successfully complete this probationary period, the case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. You're going to stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, this is cause number 23CCCR 2496. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Asa Jones. Mr. Jones, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Jones, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Jones, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defense for Attorney. You recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? You have to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have another document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Jones, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney, and the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Benjamin Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries will be given information to contact you, and you will also be given information to contact him. The court coordinator will give you that information once you get a copy of the reset and the information from the court coordinator. You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that first chair on the wall. Next case is cause number 23CCCR 0995. Case is styled of State of Texas versus Travis Robert Burke. Burke, would you please come forward? Mr. Burke, your full name is Travis Robert Burke?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burke, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Burke, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burke, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Burke?
I'm good about yourself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Burke, your attorney of record is Attorney Todd E. Takash. Attorney Takash is not here this morning. However, standing in for Attorney Takash is Attorney Don Boudreaux. Does Mr. Boudreaux have your permission to stand in for Mr. Takash?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boudreaux, do you waive a record in Mr. Burke's case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burke, I have before me a complaint that was filed by the Beaumont Municipal, well, by the city of Beaumont. In this complaint, it alleges that you, Travis Robert Burke, on or about November 30th of 2022, while you were in the city of Beaumont in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class C misdemeanor offense of failed to control speed, which resulted in collision. Mr. Burke, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Burke, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Correct.
Mr. Burke, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials. Oh, I have to change something on here. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Information. Okay, now, Mr. Burke, on page 2 of this document, I had to insert some words. I'll just insert a word that says complaint because you're charged with a complaint, not by an information. So it reads, after being admonished as to the nature of the charges against me, of all my rights, and the consequence of entering a plea of guilty or no contendere, I hereby state that I have read the charging instrument, whether it be an information or, and I inserted complaint,
Okay.
or motion to remove probation. So you're charged with a complaint now. Are these your, do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are these your initials on the line that
Yes.
next to the box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Is this, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Burke, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Boudreaux went over?
Yes.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have, Mr. Burke, are you a citizen of the United States? State,
Offer states.
any objections?
No, sir.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Boudreaux, you have advised and counseled Mr. Burke. Is there evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Mr. Burke, your attorney, Mr. Boudreaux, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burke, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable state. Do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of no contest, the state's offering a $50 fine plus court cost.
What is the court cost in this case? Okay, Mr. Burke, the state is offering that you says 277?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Burke, the state is offering that you pay a fine of $50 plus court costs of $277, which comes to a total of $327. Will you be able to pay the $327 today?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Burke, do you understand the state's offer?
I do.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Burke, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Mr. Burke, this will conclude your case. Stand in front of the court coordinator, follow her directions and the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following their directions, they're gonna send you downstairs to make the payment. Once you make that payment in the clerk's office, you're gonna bring the receipt back up to the courtroom. Okay, all right, and please stand over there by the bailiff. At this time, let me see, we have Mr. Burbank.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, Mr. Boudreaux. Nathaniel Clark,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning. Yes, yes. Make sure you go to the county clerks right under us, right below us. Yes. Okay, now, this is cause number 23-CCCR 2368. Case to style of state of Texas versus Nathaniel Clark. Mr. Clark, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Clark? You doing good? That's good. Mr. Clark, you're represented in the case by your attorney Thomas Burbank, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Burbank, how are you doing?
Doing fine, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Burbank. What is your announcement in Mr. Clark's case?
The first question I have not been able to talk to Mr. Clark, would like to talk to him, does he still have a pending felony against him?
Do you have a felony case pending?
Not pending, not yet.
No, is it over?
I mean, the board, y'all got already.
This is the only case you have? He said that this is,
Your Honor, I believe the felony. I can confirm.
okay, they say the felony case was refused.
The felony case was refused? Okay, then I need to talk to Mr. Clark. One issue that I did have, Judge, if the felony case was refused, and that was the DWI, the search warrant in that case was executed by Ms. Holmes as the magistrate. Does that conflict you out, Your Honor?
I know in the past they said it didn't. I don't know, but we can look into
Okay,
it.
I didn't know. If that's the
It may be an issue.
yeah, I'm not sure because she did the search warrant for the blood.
Yeah, that may be an issue. We'll reset it And if, and we'll check on it, and if it's a conflict, we'll transfer it to, County Court at law number 3.
Right, we do have an offer, but I'd like to relay it to my client. If he can call my office and set up an appointment. I'd like to put this on the plea docket if there is no conflict by the court.
Okay. Let's, give him a reset. June 24th? Okay, this case will be reset for June 24th. Mr. Clark, you gonna get your reset?
That'd be, and will you let me know beforehand, Judge, whether or not you're ruling on that?
Yeah, we will. Okay, so this case will be reset to June 24th. Your reset will be sent to you, and Mr. Clark will get his reset here in court. Once you get your reset, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. You'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand in front of our court.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice seeing you. Okay, next case is cause number M332784. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Martell James Francois Jr. The prosecutor. This is another one. There's a bond condition in this case. Martell James Francois Jr. Okay, Mr. Francois, your full name is Martell James Francois Jr. How you doing, Mr. Francois? Okay, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Francois. You're represented by your attorney Thomas Burbank, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement in Mr. Francois' case with Baca?
Yesterday, I received an offer which looks satisfactory, Your Honor, by the state. I need Mr. Francois to call me on that so I can relay it. I do have one question from the state. There is some controversy in reference to whether or not the firearm is actually a rifle or a pistol. I need to do a little more checking, but this should be a plea. I would ask that the plea be set as soon as possible. Or if the state agrees that it may be a rifle, they'll probably dismiss it.
Okay. Give us a reset date. We're gonna reset it for they resetting it for a plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this case will be reset to June 24th. Now, Mr. Francois, before you get your reset, I need to give you some bond conditions. I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. Hold on a minute. Okay. Mr. Francois, I'm going to give you some bond conditions. Well, he'll hold on to that and then we'll go make a copy. That's my original. It's a Francois. Do you see the title, Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2? That's the title. Okay, I'm going to go over this document, it reads as follows. Following return of a criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release for any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3 does not apply. Condition number 4 does not apply. However, on page 2, condition number 5 does apply. and it states that the defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 of the Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition? Now, Mr. Francois, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, the warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Okay, now, Mr. Francois, your case will be reset June 24, 2024. Would you please hand that document back to the bailiff so she can make a copy? Stand in front of the, right here, in front of our court coordinator. She's gonna give you a reset and a copy of your bond conditions. Once you get a copy of your bond conditions and your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Okay. Now, Mr. Burbank, you also had a lady by the name of Tiffany Ashley Zamora. She did not appear.
That's correct, Your Honor. I have had no contact with her. It is a trespass case. The offer from the state is credit for time served. I don't know if she's in jail again. It was a trespass case in a vacant house. I don't know if she's a transit or not. Transient,
Okay, so
excuse me.
what we're going to do is call this case, cause number 23 CCCR 0290. The case is styled state of Texas versus Tiffany Ashley Zamora. Tiffany Ashley Zamora was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's announcement docket. Tiffany Zamora's name was called at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. Tiffany Zamora did not answer. Tiffany Zamora has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:25 a.m. on today's date of May 24, 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Tiffany Zamora at the courthouse door? Tiffany Zamora's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Tiffany Zamora did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Ms. Zamora opportunity to appear in court. She has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion? Okay, that motion will be granted. Tiffany Zamora's will be forfeited and a warrant should be issued for his arrest. Now, Mr. Burbank, before you leave, what's the name of that lady that died? Shamika Parker. Okay, Shamika Parker is the lady that you represented on yesterday. We found out that she died. Her obituary is in the, I guess, online for the funeral home. And so you might want to look into that. I think the states needed some information either from you or the bondsman to verify that.
That's probably the reason why we had no contact with her, Judge. As if you could remember, she came down with cancer and was under treatment out of Dallas,
Right.
and so couldn't make it. But I will look into that and get you documentation from, I guess, the funeral home. If she had just passed, I believe it'll be a while to get a death certificate. But I will see what we can find out, Judge.
Well, I think they were saying, well, yeah, I think they said that you may just need the information from the funeral home, the obituary or something like that. But yeah.
I'll send it over to the prosecutor for their approval, and maybe they'll file the motion to dismiss.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Burbank, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. Y'all have a great weekend. See you next week.
All right, thank you. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number M332968. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Max Robert Colbert. Mr. Colbert, is that your full name?
Last name, Dale Cover.
Oh, okay, they have Max Robert Colbert.
Yeah, that's been there since the charge happened, but no, that's not my name. So,
Oh, okay. So your name is Max Dale Colbert.
yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Colbert?
I'm fine.
Okay, that's good, Mr. Colbert. You're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
Doing well. I'm here, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Adams, what is your announcement in Mr. Colbert's case?
Judge, Mr. Colbert called my office. I spoke with him briefly. What I want to do is finish the discovery so he can sit down and look at his discovery before making an announcement. If you can just give me one reset, I had a discovery and have him in my office to look at it.
Okay, give us a reset date.
July 19th.
Okay, this case will be reset to July 19, 2024. Mr. Colbert, you're gonna get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset, you will be free to go. You have a blessed day.
You too.
And Mr. Adams, your reset will be sent to you. And you're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
Okay, you too. Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, this is cause number M329124. Case is style of state of Texas versus Taman Lamarcus Kennedy, and it's junior, is that correct? How are you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Kennedy. I have before me a motion to dismiss your case, is that correct, state?
Yes.
And state that restitution was paid, I'm signing the dismissal. Okay. Your attorney's gonna get a copy of the dismissal in about a minute. Once you get a copy of the dismissal, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank
You
you,
are-
Judge.
You're welcome.
Sure. Good.
Well, that was the thing, we're not gonna buy the first.
Yeah, just 15.
We know it's gonna take. We're trying to bring some interest in contract.
One more left.
So, apparently Austin's involved. They're talking in some districts from the-
Laws ready? Okay. Court is back in session in cause number 24 CCCR 0719, case of South State of Texas versus Otis D. Poulard. Mr. Poulard, would you please come forward? Okay, Mr. Poulard, I have two cases before me. Cause number 24 CCCR 0108 and cause number 24 CCCR 0719. Both cases are South State of Texas versus Otis D. Poulard. Mr. Poulard, is that your full name?
Yes.
Poulard, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Poulard, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you out?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Poulard, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Poulard? That's good. You can't be better than being blessed, Mr. Poulard. In cause number 24 CCCR 0719, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Poulard, it alleges that you, Otis D. Poulard, on or about January 30th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense, possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2A, less than or equal to 2 ounces. Mr. Poulard, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Poulard, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Now, Mr. Poulard, I also have before me a document that is titled, that's just not it. Where's his waiver? Where is it? Where is his waiver? Maybe it's, I see, I have before me judge's explanation of rights of defendants without an attorney. And on this document, oh, I'm looking at a signature right here. What was never signed? Right.
It was signed at the last court date. I do recall Mr. Fuller coming in.
No, I know you didn't sign one. I'm looking from the one from the last time. That was March 12, 2024. I have before me judge's explanation of rights of defendants without an attorney. It has a signature that purports to be your signature, and it has a set of initials next to a line that said, I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where is did you find his waiver? I mean, this judge's explanation is in here. Why the waiver is not in there? Okay, we need to sign a waiver.
further up your judge?
Another waiver, I guess.
Look at the other things.
Oh, it might have been another case. That's right. You do have another case.
That waiver is in the other case.
Okay, let me go, and both cause numbers are on it. Let me go to the other
It
case.
just wasn't equal. It wasn't equal in the other case, that's what happened.
Okay, let me go to that one. Waiver, here it is. I also have before me a document that is titled waiver of counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. And there's a signature on the line that's titled defendant that purports to be your signature. And did you also sign this waiver? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Get back. Okay, now. Now to the charge of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 2A less than or equal to 2 ounces that allegedly occurred on or about January 30th of 2024. Mr. Poular, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
I also need to inform you that you have a right to have a record made of this proceeding. You also have a right to waive or give up the right to have a record. And what a record is having a court reporter to type everything that's being said today. Do you waive or give up the right?
No, sir.
Okay, it's not a copy. It's just that somebody's typing. Okay, so you want somebody, okay, see if we can get us a court reporter. Just have a seat. Huh?
Go with.
So you want to waive your right
Yes,
to,
Friday, Judge.
I understand. I know the date.
Friday too.
Okay, it's everybody's Friday. Okay, just not you, yours and mine.
I'm trying to tell you, we all.
Okay,
trying to tell you
okay,
what-
no. What I'm saying is, listen.
I don't need a reporter.
No. Okay, I understand that. But we don't wanna,
I
you
understand.
to, well, you don't even mind, what's my question, if you understand?
You be all right, everything fully affected and all is right, I'm good.
But you don't, what are your rights?
I
You,
don't-
okay, you have a right to have a court reporter. But now, this is what you need to understand. We want to make sure that any rights that you're waiving it freely and voluntarily.
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Now, Mr. Poular, I also have before me on the tablet a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials in 2 locations. One set of your initials and your signature on a line next to a box that says guilty. Did you place your signature initial on this line? Okay. The next set of initials is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment, and it is on a line next to a statement that reads as follows. I do not request discovery of evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contender. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving or giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? Okay, now, Mr. Poular, before you signed and initialed all of the documents that I just mentioned to you, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Poular, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State. Okay, state is offering State's Exhibit Number 1, Mr. Poular, to be used in this case. State's Exhibit Number 1 is the document, first document on the tablet that you acknowledge that have your initials in these 2 locations and your signature on page 3. The state would like to use this document as evidence in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no objection, states exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Poulard, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No.
Okay, Mr. Poulard, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea of guilty, the state's offering 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail with credit for 2. Defendant is to report on separate weekends. Would you like me to state those dates, Your Honor? Those are several.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Defendant is supposed to report at or before 6 p.m. on the weekend of May 31st, 2024 through June 2nd. He's to report June 7th through June 9th, June 14th through June 16th, June 21st through June 23rd, and then he'll have his last weekend on June 28th through June 29th.
Okay. Now, Mr. Poulard, the state is offering that you serve 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for 2 days. And you'll be given credit for the 2 days that you've already served. So that means that you'll be required to serve 13 days in the Jefferson County Jail. And you'll be allowed to serve this jail time on weekends on weekends at 6 p.m. You're gonna have to put in here that he goes in at 6 p.m. and he gets out at 6 p.m.
I'll put in.
Okay, because it has to be 6 p.m. and then you get out at 6 p.m. Okay. Now, do you understand the state's offer? You think that the state's off? Well, also, there's court costs in this case. What's the court cost? Now, are you able to pay the $270 court costs? Okay. Do we have an affidavit of indigence on him? Just hold on a minute.
You want me to be released by 6 p.m. as well?
Yeah. No, it's not up to them. See, So, Mr. Poulard, um, state is offering that you serve 15 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 2 days that you've already served. Your jail time will be served on weekends, from 6 p.m. May 21st, 2024 through 6 p.m. June 2nd, 2024, and then 6 p.m. June 7th, 2024 through June 9th, 2024 at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. June 14th, 2024 through June 16th at 6 p.m. June 21st, 6 p.m. 2024 to June 23rd at 6 p.m. And then 6 p.m. June 28th, 2024 through June 29th, 2024, 6 p.m. And the court cost in this case is how much?
277.
277. Will you be able to pay the 277 court cost?
Give it 30 days.
Well, normally the court cost is normally due on the day of the plea, which is today.
What time? 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
It'll be here.
Okay, and you'll pay it in the county clerk's office.
Yes, sir, understood.
All right. Now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Poulard, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Just have a seat. We're trying to get the paperwork exactly right so that there won't have any confusion when you turn yourself in at the jail. Now, Okay, this will conclude the calling of docket for County Court at Law Number 2, Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding. Prosecutors, you excuse everyone. Please have a blessed day.